What's up? Sorry I'm late. I had a hard time getting here. Rough morning, lot going on. Gosh, just swamped this week. Really slammed all day. My stomach was upset for some reason. Family stuff, you know. It's been a real journey to get here, and I couldn't get it together at all because really, I didn't want to get up and do anything. Like back in the before times, we could blame buses, traffic, the weather, kids, other people's kids, and alarm sleep-throughs, which is top-tier bullshit, by the way. You ever slept through a phone alarm or an Alexa? They're robots. They don't quit. And if by some miracle of science you are blessed with the ability to sleep through said robot alarms, teach me your ways, for though I have been on this planet a while, and in this body, I have learned a variety of skills using it. I have not yet mastered the ancient art of sleeping through anything, especially just the night. And these days, it's better if I don't. So, since we're in the now, New Year 2022, after all we've been through, I thought I'd just keep it real. Plus, when the journey has been from your bed to laptop for the last year, it's kind of hard to bullshit your way out of being late. So I'm going to lay it out. I didn't want to do anything today. In fact, even if you had a six-pack and a pack of pre-rolled blunts, I still would think before I agreed to get up. Now, this is nothing new. I've been doing nothing before it became a symptom of a collective trauma response. So, you know, before it was cool. But these days, doing nothing has kind of become active protest against all that's going on, and I'm here for it. When people in power actively demand you do a thing, to not do it, and then not do anything until they wise the fuck up is our only means these days to show them what for. But I gotta say, and I gotta keep it real, that kind of defeats the purpose because that's doing something. And damn it, I said I wasn't gonna do anything today. But you can't do nothing. That's impossible. Doing nothing doesn't really happen. The nothing is not real, no matter how many horses had to drown to get the shot. Yeah, you remember. That's a very specific joke. And there are a bunch of people in their 40s right now going, man, rough. By doing nothing, it means you want to tune out, refuse, and make your own time, which is not a bad thing these days. It's also just where I'm at. New Year's came and went. It was cold and gray for like a month here in the Midwest. And everyone was semi-locked down again. And by everyone, I mean everyone who understands that science does not care about your beliefs and that the virus could give a rhino shit about your freedom. And frankly, stankly Tom Hanksley, after almost 2 years of this shit, I'm just not interested in doing anything anymore. But the world moves on. Time continues because it doesn't give a shit. Things get back to doing if we're not ready for it, not into it, or over it. So what are you going to do? Sometimes it's as simple as not a damn thing. Case in point, did you know the Golden Globes happened? Now, normally in the great human experience, a year is marked by seasonal changes, holidays, and awards shows. So it is no surprise you didn't even know it happened yet, because you never know when it's going to happen. Because like the great Golden Globe in the sky, 'tis only whence it makes its appearance that you know 'tis time. And it did not show its face this year. Instead, it hid in the shadows, quietly passing out awards like Cold War spies. On January 9th, 2022, a clandestine meeting of 200 members of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association took place at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills for the 79th annual Golden Who Gives a Fuck. They traveled by black limo so as to mask themselves in the darkness. Dressed in black tie to further shield themselves from any who might see. Slipping through the night, westbound on the Santa Monica Boulevard with nary a street closure, traffic jam, nor shuttle bus to be seen. They sat masked in the ballroom so that even COVID-19 would not see them as they presented the winners in a ceremony like something out of Eyes Wide Shut, which, ironically, was only nominated for one Golden Globe for Best Original Score back in 2000. In fact, it was so secretive and elite that the only way us peasants even knew it was happening, or that it indeed did happen, was by Twitter. Like it was a secret Star Wars message to any of the rebel fleet out there who might be within range, letting them know that the Globes have survived and that Nicole Kidman won for being the Ricardos. As for the rest of the winners, Keep this under the table, by the way. Hush, hush. Don't tell nobody I told you this. But Andrew Garfield won for Tick, Tick, Boom. Rachel Zegler and Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. Encanto won for Best Animated Something. Jane Campion won for Power of the Dog, which won Best Drama. And West Side Story took home Best Musical or Comedy, because those are the only two choices you get. On the TV front, Hacks and Succession. Please report this to your commanding officers because their families must be notified. But the best and most apropos winner was Oh Young-soo for Best Supporting Actor in Squid Game. Because there's just something so fucking wild and telling about the times they were in that a TV show about people in debt fighting for cash to entertain the elite won an award given by the elite to for a show that those of us in debt were currently enjoying. Either way, big ups, because that was my favorite pick of the year, so I guess I won the Office pool, which is just Amazon gift cards now. In the end, despite all the undercover sneakage, some things still went down like usual. The event ran 10 minutes over its scheduled time, which is comforting in these uncertain times. Now, you might be saying to yourselves, you know what? Good for the Hollywood Foreign Press for keeping the Coachella of Hollywood awards shows light and secret this year in the wake of the Omicron surge. But hold your philanthropy, because that has nothing to fucking do with it. The reason the Hollywood Foreign Press chose to keep this year's awards ceremony on the DL was not because they cared about a rampant pandemic that is still kicking us in the collective dicks because your cousins refuse to wear masks because freedom. But it was because the Hollywood Foreign Press is being boycotted by Netflix, Amazon, Warner Media, and NBC refused to air the special because they're being protested by the Time's Up campaign, supported by Kerry Washington, Sterling K. Brown, Ellen Pompeo, Amy Schumer, Dakota Johnson, and Laura Dern. Not to mention their former president, Philip Burke, was expelled in 2021 for calling the Black Lives Matter protest, quote, a racist hate movement. All of this came about because the LA Times ran an expose in February 2021 detailing the findings of an undercover investigation that found out that the Hollywood Foreign Press is involved of lots of unethical behavior, including self-dealing. That's using company funds to enrich yourself kind of shit, like something out of Succession, which also took home Best Actor and Supporting Actress this year. But you did not hear that from me. And that out of the 87 international journalists, and we use that term lightly, that make up the Hollywood Foreign Press and vote on the winners of the Golden Globes, 0 of them are black. Scarlett Johansson is boycotting due to sexist questioning and sexual harassment from members of the HFP, and Tom Cruise actually returned all of his Golden Globes in protest. So, yeah, not so much an underground movement to keep things going in the face of a global pandemic, but more because everyone else is actively not participating. Because doing nothing these days is an act of protest. Because here we are, 2022. Almost 2 years of being jackhammered by a global pandemic into a new normal. And since it's a new year, can we just make it a better one before we open up again? Because, when people in power actively demand you do a thing, to not do it, and then not do anything until they wise the fuck up is our only means these days to show them what for. So, maybe, if you can, dig your heels in, lock your door, stay in bed to jam up the works, and be late. It is time for a global reckoning with what was, because now we can make things different. Let's spring fucking clean reality, toss out the bullshit, and get real. And remember that these days, that weird feeling you have where you don't want to do anything might actually be for a deeper, more important reason than you thought. And isn't that something? Welcome back. Happy New Year. See you later.